Good morning, YouTube. It's Friday, so maybe you have a hot date tonight with someone you met online, but not so fast according to April Rose, right? You've got the hot story today of catfishing, huh?
Well, there's a new catfishing going on, and it's where girls are getting screwed over. And it's actually kind of an interesting story because there's a restaurant in East Village in New York City that's been accused of going online, creating profiles, hitting girls up, asking them for dates to show up at this restaurant, but then the guy never shows up. Girl's there, waiting around, ends up ordering a drink, waiting longer, ends up ordering food. Well, now you're making money for your restaurant, and the guy never shows up, and so this is a new catfishing that's going on.
Yeah, so because their business is slow,
right,
and they're trying to attract customers, they make a fake profile and then get people to come and eat, the people that get stood up?
Yes. Absolutely. It's a great idea.
What a marketing ploy. That's actually great.
Well, there's a restaurant that's getting a bad reputation for it. And the reason she found out, her name is Taylor Payne. Taylor Pear.
Pare.
Taylor Pare.
P-A-R-E with the thing on top.
There's a fancy on the end of it. And so she found out because she got stood up at this East Village restaurant, and she went on a Facebook forum that the forum was actually, are we dating the same guy? Because she just thought that maybe he's a player. She goes on and sees that there's a similar post that happened about the same thing at the same restaurant she was at. This restaurant had been posting and making fake profiles for a while now, and they just got called out.
She says, dating in New York City is like the Hunger Games. We're all out here trying to have a meal with a cute date, and restaurants have caught on.
Yes. I mean, so, you know, the depths that places will go to get people to show up is pretty intense now. But you've had some catfishing experiences yourself.
Oh, so I haven't done very much online dating, and it's been a long, long time. I'm sure I've been catfished by fake profiles, but I pick up on it pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, someone who is that attractive isn't usually on online dating, and they're not going to be that forward and wanting to talk to you. But a lot of guys are stupid and don't realize that. But I have been catfished myself, like someone used me to catfish other people, not romantically, but when I was selling cars on my YouTube channel, I was selling my entire fleet. I put a price on everything. It was sort of a ploy. I didn't need to sell a lot of cars. I didn't want to sell all of them. And I gave an email, something like, buy Hoovie's car at yahoo.com. Well, somebody was very smart and created buy Hoovie's cars at yahoo.com. So if somebody did the misspelling of it, it went to them. And then whatever offer, whatever money they were willing to pay, he sold like one of my Ferraris for like 20 or 30 grand or something like that.
Wait, and he got the money for it?
Well, he would get a deposit from people, so $1,000, $2,000
That's a lot
deposits,
of money.
saying he's a representative for me.
Yeah.
And then he was taking the deposits and running.
Right.
And then people were eventually getting in contact with me when this guy would ghost them and say, hey, I'm coming to pick up my car, and yeah, let's see, I'm going to be here next week.
I could see someone really pissed off and just still coming to get that car.
It was a situation. I'd immediately put out a video telling people that this was happening, and unfortunately, he did get a lot of people, I'd say at least 4 or 5. And I had to talk to all of them on the phone and explain the situation to them. And thankfully, they were all very understanding and like, oh God, that's stupid. And, you know, but
there are so many scams.
yeah, but you're sending money through shady ways, you know, where you can't get the money back, and you know, come on, you're not going to buy a $50,000, $60,000 Ferrari for 20 or 30 grand. Once again, it's just people who are older or you know.
Well, I remember when I was looking at Grand Nationals to buy before you, and I'd see a really good price for one, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna buy that one. They don't know what they have, and I'm gonna steal it from them pretty much with the price. And they'd say, well, you need to wire me money through this offshore account on this. I work on an oil rigging company, and so I'm not on land for 2 weeks. And I'm just like, oh, this is suspicious. But I'm sure people still will continue to send money and put deposits down for cars like that.
Well, I know that people have used your likeness to get money from people as well, right?
That's true.
It's a thing when you're a model and a personality and such. So like somebody takes your photos, pretends to be you, and like starts up a whole relationship with people, right?
Oh, there's so many. There's so many profiles. There's so many fake profiles of like April Rose, and like you were saying before, it's spelled just a little bit differently or spelled a little bit wrong. But what they'll do is they'll reach out to people that will comment on my social because they know that they're interested in engagement, and so they'll go kind of behind the door and say,
like
hey,
in the comments.
In the comments, and then so they'll reach out and say, hey, I saw you commented on my photo. This is my personal page. This is my private page, and they'll form relationships with people and eventually ask them for money. I've had a lot of girls who have messaged me saying, hey, my dad thinks you're in a relationship. He's sending you money, iTunes gift cards. He's sending you, just Zelle money. Can you please tell him, message me here from your real profile with a blue check mark. Tell him that it is not you, it's a fake profile. And that happens a lot. I even had a dad one time figure out that we weren't dating, asked me for the money back that he had sent to the fake April Rose profile.
Because I think you should police this.
I should, yeah. Well, you can't because they'll just keep on making.
It just keeps going. I mean, same with my YouTube channel where there's a reply to every comment where it's like, hey, you've won, message me on Telegram because you won something. And people fall for it every single. That's why people do it.
Well, the worst one.
Wait, hang on.
Oh.
I'm just making sure I'm not being catfished here. No, the real April Rose is here
not
with
a hologram.
me. This is okay. All right, I'm good. So yeah, it is hard to believe, I know, but
stop.
Yeah.
Awful.
So what's your worst one?
So the worst one that happened was I was working on a sports show in Chicago, and one of the producers had thought that we had begun a relationship. Very nice guy, a little older, so not super like.
So somebody you worked with was getting catfished.
Yes, and it was crazy because he called me when I happened to be on vacation. I pick up the phone. I'm thinking, we switched players. We're not interviewing this, this guy. We're switching, so prep to interview a different athlete, which would be the only reason why he would call me while I was on vacation. And I told him, I'm sitting down to lunch, what's up? And he's just like, hey, so what's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I'm out of town. I'm sitting down to lunch. When someone tells you sitting down to lunch, you got to speed up the conversation. Slowly, his tone was so casual and smooth, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then he brings up, about that money you wanted. And then I knew right away. I go, he doesn't know what's happening, but he's being catfished. Here was the weird thing that happened. I just go, oh, I'm sorry, that was a fake profile that reached out to you. Please don't send them money, delete it, report it. He gets so mad at me, he goes, you need to police those profiles. You can't have that out there like that. And made me feel bad. I just quickly changed the subject, ended up seeing him a week later, just pretended like nothing ever happened. But it was a very awkward moment for both of us.
I'm sorry that's happened to you.
It makes life a little interesting, perhaps.
Well, nobody's ever going to try that with me, obviously, with a woman catfishing with this and, hey there, Tyler Hoover's here talking to you. No, but my grandmother actually did get catfished by someone impersonating me. This is before YouTube. It was the strangest thing ever.
Your grandmother did?
She's been gone for a few years now, but somebody called her up and said, Grandmother, this is Tyler. And knew that I called her grandmother, not grandma. Somebody was able to replicate my voice and my mannerisms enough, I guess, or maybe Jeff Goldblum did it, I don't know. But yeah, they called her up and said, hey, I'm in South America. I've been in a car accident.
No.
My wallet's gone. I don't have any money. What? This hospital, they need money right now, and I'm okay, but I have a broken arm and stuff. I need $2,000 right now so I can get home. And don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone.
Okay, that's the red flag.
Because I didn't tell my parents I was going on this trip.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anybody. I don't want to get in trouble.
Right.
But at this point, I'm in my mid-20s or late 20s or something like that. And she believed him enough to go to Western Union and send that money.
Wait, she sent it?
She sent, I think, $2,000 to this guy.
I love your grandma. That's so sweet.
She's in her 80s, and so that's the target of most of these scams is people that are starting to get a little cognitive decline. I mean, she was still very much with it, but still, it's not a thought in their head.
No way.
Yeah.
That she actually, and she sent the money. Oh my, what did you do when you found out?
So she called me
and
said, Tyler, are you okay? I'm fine. Where are you? I think I was out of town. I'm like, what's going on? Yeah. And she said, oh, I've been scammed.
So she knew right away when you said that.
She knew.
Oh man, oh, that is rough. Oh, that is awful.
But the crazy thing is, they impersonated me enough over the phone
Right.
to where she was convinced it was me.
Was this at a time you weren't doing your YouTube videos
No,
either?
no.
So how did they know?
I don't know.
That's what's creepy.
Yeah.
They really do their research. That's absolutely insane. And I feel like there's these firms overseas where they study on how to scam people and the age range to scam people and the best ways to do it. And they look at your online history because they can track you. And they figure out what you're into, what you're about, and get enough information to trick your family.
So I guess that's the way of the world now. Even restaurants now, rather than making a better food or atmosphere experience, they just they'll just catfish instead to get some business.
It's a great idea,
It's
actually.
very original. It's fascinating. Great story, April.
Thanks.
So obviously don't believe everything that you see on the internet. If it seems too good to be true, a very handsome dude wants to take you to a nice restaurant on a Friday night in New York City, it's probably not the case. So
Yeah, because New York's so expensive. You don't take a first date on a restaurant.
you're very real.
Very real.
Okay, because this is way too good to be
possible.
true right here. Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for watching. You're not a fembot.
I might be.
Machine gun jubblies.
Oh.
No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, cringe. Everybody's cringing now. Why do I do things like that when the cameras are on?
Because you love me. Okay. You have to be mad. You're so tough.
Okay.